everybody. Welcome to another, well, I guess Farm Along with Goggles in the tutorial, which is kind of weird, me doing a tutorial in this game that I'm so, let's say not very proficient at. But I had a problem and I couldn't find an answer anywhere. And I watched tutorials, I asked questions, I looked all over and didn't really get any answers. So I leaned on my good buddy Reconlobster, and he gave me the guidance I needed. And I want to show you what the problem is in a way around it. And the problem was, if we look at our map, this island of trees is not showing up on the map. And whatever crop was in this field went right through the trees. And I built this map. It's just, I'm learning as I go. I just put 3 crops in it for now just to get things, going. This is in the XML files. This is a real farm, by the way, and a real area. It's Foxhorn, Manitoba. My dad was born in right here, and the house is right there. That's where my father was born, and this is their farm, quarter section. He was born in 1916, so a long time ago. And it was a little late in his life when he had me, so not that late, but anyway. And he and my mom are buried right here. So this is pretty special to me to be able to put this in the game. So that's just a little background on what we're doing. And I'm new to this mapping thing. I used the Maps for FS, very beautiful program from Stan over at, the Maps for FS Discord, and great tool to get you going. Anyway, lots of information on how to get started. But what happened here is I used Streets or OpenStreetMap OSM to lay this all out, so you can see how I have all the fields laid out around the bogs and trees and soft areas and where there are no trees, and got the roads and everything. So it all worked out really well. Except for there's trees, and here a tree island or an island of trees, and there's 3 in this field. So I had these 4 islands of trees that I couldn't get to show up on my PDA or in the game, and now they do, or one of them does. And I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to do one of the other ones. So this wasn't showing up despite the fact that I had the background under there, the whole thing, or the terrain. So let's go over to the next field over here. And we've got 3 more islands here. We'll do another one. And hopefully this will help you if you're having a similar issue. And I got to put trees in there in that area. That's supposed to be trees. But anyway, so it's not showing up. And let's... we should probably get the truck off of the field. Put the truck in here. Hop out and see what's going on here anyway. Growth is harvested barley. Okay, well that's cool. Now what we'll do, I'll come in here and I'll put a texture down. I'm going to go on the assumption you guys know how to do that. And I will pause the video and come back when I have my floor in here, because I don't want to make this a great big long video showing you how to do things you already know how to do. Because if you're this far and you want to put an island in the field or a feature or whatever, and you want it to show in the PDA, that's entirely different than just putting down a texture. So I'm going to pause, and do I have a pause button on here? Let's see. Should have. And I'll come back once I have my terrain painted down, and then I'll show you how to define that island. Back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. Excuse me. And so I'm in Giants Editor now. I've got the field up, and I'll just zoom out so you can see what we got. I got field 13 selected. Here's the one I'd done earlier. So what I'm going to do now is going to zoom in here. We've got our field. We've got our... So if you've got foliage planted like here, so you can see that I've got that island and that island, I've got some texture there. Well, you got to go and take all that out. So I'm assuming you know how to go in and take that out. get it back to square one and then repaint it on the field. Make sure this is done with the field selected. You go in here and you put it down again. I just put 4 stones and then I put grass around it. And I'll be able to, do what I want with it later, perhaps if I want to change it. Important thing, get this thing showing up in the game. So now what we got to do is we're going to make this part of the field, because right now it doesn't show up in the game, and which is a total bummer. And so let's sort it out. So what we need to do is we have to go to gameplay, and we're going to, in fields, we're going to select field 13, which is this field. And what we have to do, is open this up. And then we got the polygon points. We can open that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right to the bottom, and it's 185. So I'm going to go left Control D and then left Control B, and I'm going to click somewhere. And I got to remember where this is, because it's not going to show all of the points as we build it all the way around and we come back to a nice finish and we hit O and have it complete like we do with a spline. Not going to be like that. So we got to pick a spot to start where we know we can get real close to the same spot to finish. So I think if I pick this edge of this tree where it meets this line here, and then when we come all the way around going counterclockwise, we'll put the last one there. We'll put the first one here. So I'm going to go Control B and click there. So now what we did is we picked the last point and we hit Control D and didn't take my left finger off of the controls, and then hit Control V, or B rather. So we're going to start doing that again. We're going to do Control D, Control B, and we're going to click, and it's there. So left finger, little finger still on the control. Then we go D and B and click. D, B, click. D, B, click. And you could go inside this edge if you want to make the edge smaller, if this was too big for you. I'm going to leave it like this. That way that next set cab will clear here if it ever comes around. And it's hanging out over the edge of the field into the grass here. So we just, oops, click that. There we go. DB click. DB click. And on and on. Just keep doing it. Get a little closer together around this corner so it's not too chunky. Oops, DB click. It shouldn't be too clunky anyway, because it's actually not working like a spline, is it? Oh yeah, it's true. So it may not do that sort of smoothing out thing that splines do. I don't know. I'm just learning this, but I thought I'd share it because the amount of time I spent trying to figure out how to do this was crazy. My day for doing mapping in learning this is Wednesday, and I blew the whole last Wednesday, trying to learn this. So there we go. We'll call that good. We put all those points in. So you can see they're all 185. So we're going to go to, first thing we're going to do, I guess, is we're going to go to script, shared scripts, map, farmland fields, toolkit. And we would like to, so we go back up here, select the points. I think this is the way to do it. We'll click it right there. And, oh, it's selected field. Yeah, right. So we better select the field. and go align poly points to terrain. And not sure how long this is going to take. I guess we could try clicking on something and see if it, oh yeah, probably did it. Okay, so now what we want to do, this is the crazy one. We're going to select poly points. Oh no, it's selected field. So we'll select the field and we're going to go rename poly points. And this one may take a while. Let's find out. I don't know if we can scroll down or not, see if we can see it actually happen. We were like 185 or something we copied. Oh yeah, so it's done it. So now we're up to 221. So it's renamed all those poly points. Isn't that great? So now we're going to validate the field. So let's go back up, make sure the field's still selected. It is. So we'll validate the field. And probably did it. We could also try run the debug. Yeah, there it is. So, and we can see here that the other islands aren't showing in here. They're right here. And they aren't showing up. So we know we got a problem. This one's showing up here. That's the one I did earlier. So now we can close this. And I am going to pause this and we will be back in the game and see if this showed up or not. Okay, so we're back and we got our island showing here. So there's that terrain that I put in. Not super happy with it, but it's here. There's that point off the edge of the field there. And if we drive around, we got this thing all the way around. I'm probably going to come in here and move some of these trees and stuff. Fix that up a bit. Not real happy with this janky bit right there. I don't know how I got that to be like that. I can probably go in and I can move those poly points and then reset them. So yeah, I'll be able to fix that. So anyway, let's check the PDA. That's the important thing. Is this thing going to show up or not? So yeah, there it is. So that wasn't there before. And shows up, and when we put a crop in the field, this one is harvested, of course, but like we have the wheat one across the way there that doesn't go under the trees anymore. And that was the whole goal of this, trying to figure out how to get that solved. So it's a huge step for me to be able to move forward with this map and just having these islands established. So yeah, just to recap, you go into the field you're working on, you go to the poly points, you do the Control D, Control B on one, and when you do the Control B, click on where you want to start, and then you just copy that one all the way around the field. Then use the field kit. I could, we're not in there right now, but use the field kit to set them to the terrain, and then you rename them. Is the order I did it in. You could probably rename them first and then set them to the terrain. I'm sure it doesn't matter. But yeah, there you go. It works, and it puts an island in the field, and if you wanted to put one in for whatever purpose, you can do whatever you want with it. In this case, I just don't, I wanted the trees that I brought in with OpenStreetMaps to be there. Now, you could do this for, I imagine, if you wanted to put a pond or a lake or something or other in the middle of the field, you could do the same thing. And or in the middle of a farmyard, maybe you want to make a dugout for water for cattle. There's probably all kinds of uses for it, but I hope you found that useful. I know I certainly am very happy to have got this figured out and can now move on with my map. So all the very best to you and your adventures out there with mapping in FS25, because it's one steep learning curve, and finding that out, it's no lark. But once again, take care, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.